So next question. If God is only one, how come there are many ways, many teachings, and each teaching seems to be conflicting with others? Okay. So God is only one. It's called absolute reality. Absolute reality or supreme truth. So the absolute reality or supreme truth is beyond the human mind. Okay. Human mind, body, mind, and intellect cannot reach the absolute truth. It's not possible. We are human beings are a small part of the universe. A part can never understand the totality. Understand? Part cannot never understand the totality. How can part understand the totality? How can a finger understand me? Right? So the effort of any human being to understand the totalities will fail because intellect is limited. So that's where many religions stress the surrender is the way. So you cannot understand God. You can be with God. We can be one with God. That's understanding. Understand? So river can never understand the ocean, but river can merge with the ocean. Okay. After merging with the ocean, there's nothing to understand. Right? So individually, we will never be able to understand God. Problem, right? Individually, we can never understand God. Okay. Only way to understand God is to become one with God. Then I'm not there. There is no questions. God only is there. So that is what is called Advaita or non-duality. The questioner loses himself in God. There is no questioner now. There's nobody who's trying to understand. A river is trying to understand what is the ocean, how is the ocean, how is the ocean, will think. So then one day river goes to the ocean. River merges the ocean. Then there's nobody to think. So when we completely surrender, or through self-enquiry, we merge with God, there's nothing to understand left. Now the problem starts if I have to explain to somebody about God, the God which I have merged. So the communication has to happen from the one who has realized God to one who has not realized the God. Okay. One who has realized the God has no questions left, and he has no way of explaining to the person who is not realized God. It's a gap. Right? So this gap is too big. It is like a person who is blind and person who has eyesight. The person who has eyesight has seen the beautiful sun. He'll try to explain the beautiful sun to person blind. How will he explain? There's no language or no communication. Okay. And the person who is blind has always a question. Okay. So the person who is not blind is trying to explain. This is called realized person or enlightened person. Is trying to explain to the person who is blind. Because out of love or compassion, you try to explain. Then whatever he explains, it confuses that person. Okay. So let's say the blind person asks, I heard of white color. What is this white color? Then the person with the eyes will say, white color, you don't know. See, the wall is white. What is the wall? He'll take, and the blind person will, wow, the wall is white means white is hard. Okay. No, white is not hard. He understood mistakenly. No, white is not hard. White is soft also, like milk. So how is milk? Say, white means it's sweet. So blind person can understand only with his sense organs, right? Remaining sense organs. No, white person, it's not sweet also. White person is like a fan. Oh, how is this fan? Like this. Oh, now I understood. White means crooked. So any communication from the enlightened one to unenlightened one will be interpreted or misinterpreted. Okay. So now this is what happens from the enlightened one to the unenlightened masses. We'll say, let's say, the founders of religion are enlightened ones. Whoever is that? I don't know how many of them are really or how many not. So they are trying to communicate the truth to next generation. So when they communicate the truth to next, earlier days, there are no recording machines, there are no instruments. So somebody will hear the truth and probably he'll write down, or what he heard from his memory, he'll talk it to next generation. So from generation to generation, the transmission has to happen through various people. So in the process, what will happen? Every generation has its own corruptions added to the truth. So that way, within 2-3 generations, whatever is told and whatever is heard, it will be very different. So this is what gives rise to various religions or various sections of society. Okay. And then there is a politics also will come into picture. The politicians, what happens? Religion is a power. So the politicians want to exploit their power. So what they do, they take the religious texts and convert into political power. So my religion only superior, all other religions should be destroyed. So that politics also will come into picture. One is human mind corrupts it. Second is politics will corrupt it. Okay. So the third thing is no. Human mind cannot corrupt it. Whatever original teachings are there, everybody memorizes it. Every word by word, they'll reproduce it after generations and generations. Okay, they are memorize it. So what happens in the memorization? The person who memorizes, okay, he'll memorize the words, but the essence he will not know. It's like blind person knows the milk is, the whiteness is there, but he understands the whiteness as crooked, whiteness as... So the understanding becomes very different. Okay. So that's why a wise person or Gnani communicates, but the communication is not understood properly, or communication used for a purpose of political purpose. So this is right. This is how it will go. Many ways of teaching truth happens. Many paths. Then another thing is there, Loko Binna Ruchi. The people are of also different types. Okay. The truth, for somebody, the truth is, if he is an intellectual person, the truth has to be explained very logically. For a person who is truth, for a person who is emotional, the truth has to be explained in an emotional way. As a person who is left brain oriented, you have to logical answer is required. Person who is right brain oriented, he's a graphical answer is required. Visual answer is required. That's why art, literature, and all. So that way it gets multiple shades. Okay. So that's where the original truths one, many religions are born based on many interpretation of truth, many ways of communicating truth, or many political ways of distributing the truth, or many misinterpretation of truth, and many wrong ways of understanding truth. See, blind person has no way of knowing light. He has only imagination. In his imagination, he can think light as something. There was a blind man in Buddha's time. So those people, at that time, he was a double graduate in Tarka Shastra. Tarka Shastra means logic. Like our lawyers fight, argue, no? They will take very fine law points and argue very properly. So now, the Tarka Shastra is so, he is double graduate. And he is the top ranker in that Tarka Shastra university. So that Tarka Shastra, he using logic, Tarka Shastra, he proves that there is no sun. He is blind. And his tarka is so sharp, so clear, even the brightest person is not able to counter that tarka. Ultimately, logic anyway, your sharp guy will always win. Okay. So tarka is so sharp. So logic is so sharp. Then people come and complain to Buddha. So please tell him there is sun also. So the Buddha calls that fellow. You say there's no sun? Yes, I can give logical argument. Please disprove me. So Buddha does not attempt to disprove him. So Buddha has always a surgeon who accompanies Buddha. A doctor, the king had always put a physician with Buddha. So Buddha says, can you check his eyes? So then the person checks his eyes and he says, this eyes can be cured. So in India, at that time, eye surgery was there thousands of years back. So that guy performs eye surgery and this person is able to see. So then Buddha asks, now, please prove now the sun is not there. So after seeing the sun, how can he prove that sun is not there? Without seeing the sun, he can prove sun is not there. Right? Most of the religious disputes, none of them has seen the truth. They're like not seeing, they're blind people, not seeing the sun. They keep on arguing, fighting. They're called believers. Okay. So Sanatana Dharma is not about believers at all. Sanatana Dharma is about realization. Okay? Do not argue about the truth. Do not worry about the truth. Discover the truth and realize the truth. When you realize the truth alone is there. You are not there. You and truth is not there. The two are not there. Two is not possible. A part cannot understand the whole. The only way the part can understand the whole is to become one with the whole. And then there will be no questions left. There's nothing to answer. So the focus of Sanatana Dharma is realization. That's why best way Ramana Maharshi says, Ramana Maharshi teaching is, Ramana Maharshi, somebody asks any question. Ramana Maharshi says, find out who you are. That's all. One who is asking the question, who that real I is Brahman, Atma. So once you understand, once you realize that, there's no questions. Mind is silent. But then you try to explain to somebody, still he'll misunderstand it. Because his concept comes from the body, mind, and intellect. Are we clear? Any questions? Anybody on Zoom? So Vinith, can you repeat your question?
Guruji, that was for the earlier one. That's still okay.
Yeah, what is the question?
ನನಗೆ ಅದು ಜ್ಞಾನ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ that this is half satya, the satya atra ella. I will know how to interact with the person, but the other one might not know and keep on blaming on, keep on trying to do. At that time, what should we do?
That time you can't help, no? You try to focus as much as possible harmony, as much as possible. If you can't focus on as much as possible, then you have to give up. It doesn't work. Change what you can, accept what you can't.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jain said is in tune with the relation of Mahavir Jain and relation of Sanatana Dharma is same. That's the next question. So